Okay, team. Starting a little bit early here. Lots to get through. Lots and lots and lots to get through. I hope you're all doing well. Morning. All right, so what are we seeing? Let's go over what we're getting right now. Yesterday, all right, if you hung around long enough, we finally got the breakout of the weekly balance range. All right, so yesterday was trading inside, and then we had follow through. All right, we had follow through to the downside for the first time, testing this old high. If you remember of the newsletter, you'll know what we talked about, this high being fairly critical for the hourlies. All right, so we've got our weekly model set, failing top Bollinger Band into 5-day, inside day, builds liquidity, and we get follow through downside. Afternoon session does what? It bids back up, right off this level. All right, right off this level, we bid back up. And if you were in Discord, you would have been very aware of what we were looking for overnight. All right, very, very simple. We were looking for this right here, all right, which is what we got. All right, so the easy layup trade right now has been and gone. So where are we going to trade to? Well, we're currently coming into a previous week point of control right here. All right, where we've stopped and started a lot. You can think about resistance, support, resistance, got over its support. This is where we're trading into right now. If we fail this weekly point of control, where do you think we're going to go? RBS and 20-day. We talked about this yesterday. Safety at the 20-day. That would be a full mean reversion. Doesn't have to happen today, but if we come down to here, that is a full mean reversion, right? This is standard mean reversion, and this is 2 standard, and this is 2 standard versus the 20-day. All right, safety net is here for the market. Again, if you read the newsletter, this is your under over. If we start letting go of this, market is in a big problem. All right, because we will effectively leave an island high up here and drift lower. Until that point, from a technical standpoint, on a daily, we are in what? We are still in a bull trend, right? This low created this high. This is probably a 50% pullback, if that. All right, probably coming into 61 soon. All right, coming right into 61s. Do not forget that. Do not get too biased. Yes, the hourly is on a downtrend and all these things, but until we break below here, the daily will remain in an uptrend. This is a 61. If they want to bid back up off this, big if, but if they do, it is possible. All right, it is possible. Do not get too focused on being bearish at lows. You will get yourself caught. We're in an overall bull market. Do not forget that. It will change, but you need to wait for it to change. Just like yesterday, you had to wait for the sentiment change. Once we had a breakout underneath the lows, we had the continuation. Okay, moving into the hourlies, and we can see a bit more in more detail. All right, just focus on this chart here with me. Just this chart here. Hopefully you can see it all. Okay, so yesterday, like we talked about, eventually we had follow through underneath the weekly range that was set. All right, this hourly bar, boom, big downside bar. What did we trade into? We came and cleaned up all of the liquidity over here. All right, and we left these guys and they've now been cleaned out. But from Friday last week, we cleaned out those buys. So anyone who had their stop too tight from Friday, who bid up and didn't take profit, we left a bit of an island high here. That is a poor high. I think we will come back for that at some point this year or early next year if this continues to sell. But I'd say this year, clean this out. There's your drive down, and there's what happens here. Uno, dos, into what? This is support, becomes resistance, really clean and obvious. And if you were there overnight, you even had the 21 or the hourly flow zones, however you want to look at it, for that sell model back down. Now, I would have been covering into this. I was somewhat surprised to see us gapping down this far this morning, but hey. So what do we need to be aware of? Well, if we think about where we closed yesterday, we closed at 738-ish. We drove up about 70 points, and we've just hit a low of 540. So about 200-point drift lower, and you can see where we're starting to find a bid. Now, this is what I was talking about. This is your previous week point of control. This from last week was where most traders found value, both sellers and buyers traded here more than any other area, and you can see we're starting to find a bid off it. You do not want to get short in the hole down here. I cannot specify that enough. All right, if you get short in the hole down here, like these traders are already, they're already starting to move, 25, 30 points off it. If you are absolutely adamant on a short today, what are you going to need to wait for? Probably a 2-leg, probably into value or some kind of supply area for a retest of this low. And you better be covering when we come into that low, because if they do this and this, it would not surprise me in the slightest. Now, if we stay heavy, there's no pop and we stay heavy, you can use this level as a back test. All right, if we stay heavy, they back test this, you could look for follow through into previous week value area low. I would say there's big volume right here, 422 down to 390, and if we get under that, then I think you've got a shot of getting down to 245. So I'd be cover here, and if they fail under here, all the way down here. It's possible. We're in quite a clear trend here on the H1, as you can see. But right now, I'd be waiting for a response. I'd be looking for something like this as possibly the first trade. And then maybe from here, there's a reshort down. If they squeeze up, maybe there's a reshort down. Where do all shorts come completely off the table? If we reclaim any of these areas up here, right, we are all-time high straight away, because that would mean everyone got short under here will get stuck. If we reclaim this, I mean everyone short in here gets stuck and we go back to all-time highs. I'm not trying to be very bullish here. I'm just trying to make you aware. You still have to be able to play both sides. Look how thin we were in there last week. All right, it would not take a lot to move us from here straight back to this level for it to make a decision of what we're doing. All right, do not get short side down here without a build of structure. You will regret it. Do not get forced into chasing it. All right, you can see from the Asia high, we really have not retraced much. If this wants to come right back up here, it can do so very, very easily. All right. Remember, people who are waking up this morning, when they come to their portfolios, they're going to be down significant amounts. All right. So long-term swing traders, they won't really give two Fs about it. But anyone who got stuck the last few days, you might see a bit of panic at the open. We'll have to see. Depends how many shorts need to cover. Depends where we open here. We've got another 9 minutes left. So let's see where we open. And let's go through the other charts. They're going to look pretty much the same here. Move this to a 5 minute. All right, ES in a strong sell as well. You can move this down. This basically becomes your supply now for a back test. What is this gray level? Okay, plenty of room. So we're coming into this block right here where we found bids before. I would imagine that's pretty much the same as 61, right? Back test of here will be key. Do they get follow through here? Either way, but I would imagine a back test of there would be key. I would like to see some relief in the market because it will allow us to have a trade. I do not want to get short in a hole. Right, VIX, important here that we talk about the VIX. We've been talking about the last few days. It has been higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, and finally now breaking out. Now, if we keep sustaining bids, if I zoom this out, right, if we sustain bids above this area, 1680s, it has got a slingshot up to Nords 19. This will be a risk off environment if we do that, as in the market will roll over. All right, so this is key. The higher this goes, the more risk off we will be short term, the more long-term buyers will be interested in, picking up good names cheap. That's the best way to put it. So we're watching VIX for holds over sort of 1680, 17s. Any hold over that, right, any hold over here, and the VIX can come all the way up here, and the market will puke. If we start failing back in here and coming back down into the 15s, the market's likely to find a bid. All right, let's go through the mag. It's going to be important. I would say Apple, relative strength. This is really nice. Good for me to see. Obviously, I'm in from 202s still, holding for breakouts of all-time highs. Nice 50% pullback there yesterday. All right, or over a 2-day period. I would like to see Apple reclaim sort of 55, 56s, and then we're looking for all-time highs. So still holding my original core position. Any big flash moment today, I will be adding to my core position there. I'm in from 202, so I can afford an ad just to make you aware. Amazon, I'm liking this more and more for a swing long opportunity. The lower it goes, the better right now. Why? Because we've built out this sort of inverse head and shoulders on a daily, and we're looking kind of good. So any drift down here, I'm looking to buy this. Any panic that comes into this market, I will look to buy Amazon right now. But intraday, let's have a little look. Make sure I'm on the right chart for you all. All right, holding yesterday's lows pretty well. Very, very slight gap up, but basically opening flat here versus yesterday. Goog weak. All right, that thing is getting absolutely wrecked off the froth at the high. Remember, we've been in a range for a little while up here. Here is your range. It's got gap fill potential down here to 41s. Okay, it's still technically intact, but it wouldn't surprise me to fill this gap. And we have this old gap here. Remember, Goog went parabolic on that breakout. Right, so if it wants to come all the way back down here, you can see I've got alerts ready for it in case it does. I'm interested in Goog if it gets really, really heavy, but already starting to fill this gap. Meta, clean this up, still in its range on the daily. You can see Meta in a range 96, really down to 45. That's a fail break underneath. Again, has a gap. Let's have a look intraday, how we're looking. Slight gap down versus PDL. Building out here. So if Meta starts failing 750s, I'd be saying watch out below on a retest. Psychological number. Microsoft trading between PDC and PDL right now. Same kind of thing. Building out a range here. I'd imagine this is a big level into these 506s. Let me zoom out. 506 down to 504s, failing that 490. Still looks good to me. All right, it's trying to do this for a recovery, but any fail under 505s, rotation down to 490 is possible. Good old Nvidia. I mean, what a cluster F that is. All right, so failed breakout underneath, reclaims the level, trades back inside, buyers turn up, fails to take out all-time highs, has positive news, I think it was 2 days ago, and is not taking out all-time highs. Little bit of a worry there. If they do not show up today for this, that'll be a failure of both sides of the range. Maybe we need to build more liquidity out. Time will tell. It's not a good look right now on Nvidia, I say that much. Tesla yesterday kept pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping. Pulling back today. All right, pulling back today. You can see that pre-market. So yesterday, big old squeeze. So you'd watch Tesla into basically 30s to 23s, right? That's where we broke out from. Expect a retest and buyers to show up. If they don't show up and we get stuck underneath again, same thing. If we flush, turn that into supply, then there's more downside action. Right now, Tesla weak. Tesla is the weak one. As a whole, let's have a look at the MAG. Equally split. They're trying to find a bid pre-market versus PDL. That is not PDL, so I don't know what that's working out. Previous day lows right there, but it has recovered it. So if they find a bid here, maybe we trade up to those VWAPs. How long we got left? 3 minutes. Okay, so move this. Wrong one, as always. Right, there you go. So you can see the bid up. So far, they're starting to attempt lower time frame to shift here. All right, we've been in strong trend. If they produce a higher low here, they might come and retest value. I would say previous day low and value area is absolutely key in this session, as is this. Under this, rotation lower. Hold this up to here. Over this, retest supply overhead, and maybe even up here. This is a big, big, big technical breakdown. Technical breakdown basically happened from 90s, okay, from 90s. So a retest of previous day low and value area high would be key. If we reclaim that, I expect us to kind of test up to 90s. Reclaim that, squeezes on. Fail that, rotation back down. That's what I'm looking at and considering today. You can see some bids are starting to come into this market early here, folks. This is what we're talking about. Not quite a full retest, but close, pretty close. All right, let's see who's in here this morning. Morning, Muhan. Jesse, Clint, Noah, Toby, Glenn, Silem, Jeff, John, Peter, Thumper, Red Candles, Brandon, Richard, Charles, Julian, NRS, Harish, Sergio, Dawson, Chris, Mike, Bowden, Dojon, Eva, Coop, Leron, Raphael, Christy, Herinda, Peter, Bart, InfoRisk, Bill Burt, Priska, Richard, Miguel, Marek, Teresa, Troy, Ejecto, Jeff Morris. Sorry, someone there. I think your name's in another language. I can't read it, but good morning. And Gigi, good morning. Unless something sets up nicely to take a trade, I'll be sitting in my hands. You caught it from 721. Wow, lovely, Peter. 721. This is the advantage of being awake in Europe. 721, 721, 721. Oh, very nice. So after we failed PDC, right there for the liquidity grab, and all the way down we go. Very, very, very nice trade, my friend. Yes, this is the advantage of being awake in Europe when we have days like this. I was up early today, but still not early enough. Still not early enough. 4 a.m. could not sleep. I'm very tired. Very, very tired. So I need to be slightly aware of that as well. Okay, here's the open, folks. Let's see if we sweep these lows and how we act. As you can imagine, all of the mag, other than Apple, down. So I really like that relative strength from Apple. That makes me feel very, very good. So if we have a weak day today, I will start picking up some more Apple. Let's see if we can test previous week point of control here. Let's see if there's some follow through to downside or if they trap underneath it. Remember, these are the big levels. I would say potential follow through would take us to sort of 500. All right, if we get heavy under 500, then we can go and retest the 400s and then possibly all the way down to 240. All right, here's previous week point of control, pretty much to the tick here. Very, very close. Remember, lots of panic. We also have lots of news today worth noting. Lots of Fed talk. What time is this? All this Fed talk? And I know some people are already talking now. Bowman at 10 o'clock, home sales at 10 o'clock, and then bar at 1. Bar at 1. Okay, so do we get follow through underneath the previous week point of control? If they do, they might be looking for 500 for a retest. That would be the sort of bottom side of that shelf. And then if we fail this area on a retest, we stay heavy. This is sort of the bottom side of that H1 channel right now. So if we trade all the way in there, you know, I don't want to get too short, too low in the session. We're already gapping down 203 points and probably more like 350 points off that Globex high. So I want to be aware of that. So Amazon and Apple both closed the gap, both sitting flat now on the day. Let's see if they find any bids. Who's the weak one today? Tesla, the weak one, almost 3% down. Oracle, 4.11% down. Google, 2% down. Nvidia, that key level, coming into those key levels. So just patient here. I don't want to get short at the lows. If we're going to short the lows today, we're going to need some structure to form. And if we're going to short lows, if we're going to have a panic day, we're going to need some structure to form. Remember, we have sold off a considerable amount. All we need to do, look at the M5. You can see lots of them starting to turn neutral and bearish. Daily and weekly are still bullish. So ignore that weekly, it's still bullish. All right, so coming into big volume areas. All right, there's point of control hit and tagged. The question really is there follow through? Or is this a cover point? Very, very possible that this becomes a cover point. But there's no shift into bullish structure yet. We are very, very bearish on the day. I think I've woken up with a cold as well, just for fun. Morning Swoosh, morning OJ. Right, I'd love to do an Apex giveaway today, folks. So if you can all hammer that like button, share the stream with your friends nice and early, we will do some Apex giveaways today. Which will help you because I think with my code at the moment, it's 50% off, not 80. So we'll give away some free accounts. Morning, Mr. Slim. Okay, currently holding previous week point of control. Currently, the market respecting that level for now. Market respecting that level for now. Does it last? Well, I have absolutely no idea. If it wants to trade all the way down to 500s, it will trade to 500s. But currently, we're respecting that. Let's see if we start reclaiming sort of the New York Open. And if we do, maybe there's a trade back up to previous day value and PDL. But very, very heavy. I'd say that previous day value is massive because that was a low from yesterday. It was the high of the previous hour H1. That will be a big, big telling level today as an over-under. Late to the party, unfortunately. All right, Nvidia's trying to find a bit of a bid back up towards VWAP here. Apple's gone green to red, red to green. Amazon's gone red to green. The rest of the market's still selling. So maybe we come down for these 500s now, getting stuck at that old level. I'm going to start getting rid of this, clean up the screens. We keep trading through everything. So I'm watching the H1. Big level here, H1. And then after this, 500s. And if we trade through 500s, I would imagine, let's just pull this up a bit, about 25s, 425s, if we really get heavy and flushy. So sellers in absolutely full control right now. Let's have a look if there's any big numbers below and above. Not really at the moment. No one really showing their hand. Let's have a look on the ES. Maybe another 10 points either side. Not much either. Panic, panic, panic. Oh my gosh. Sell everything. That's what it feels like this morning. Oh my gosh. Sell everything. It's a pullback. I mean, it seems massive, but it's we're 233 points down, right? There were days last year and earlier this year where we were selling thousands of points a day, remember? It's just a pullback. We're very frothy. We expect a pullback for a mean reversion off that top Bollinger Band when we are as frothy as we are. Did we just retest 500 there and just missed it? There's a buyer down there bidding. And if we trade through that, previous week value area low is not out of the question like we talked about. That 400, 360s, and then 240s, I think it was. Sorry, 240s, 420s. Yeah, exactly, Peter. Run! Oh my gosh! Sell everything. Yes, please keep selling everything because Alex has been waiting to buy stuff all year. So sell it all. Sell your inventory. I'll happily have it off you when it keeps coming down. Okay, failing 500. So maybe we keep flushing here. This is a strong sell this morning. Watch your ATR here, folks. I know the last few days we've had like ATRs of like 4 and 5 points. Well, not this morning. Your ATRs are up at an average of 30 points since the open. All right, this is big. All right, into this H1 trend. We're coming into some of these levels. VIX still trying to break out here. It's possible we will keep trading down here into that previous week value area low in this kind of level, but we are into that H1 trend for now, and you want to be somewhat careful. If you took the shorts this morning, I would be somewhat careful as we trade into some of these levels. There will be cover points coming, I would imagine, if not already. So if they stay heavy versus 500, maybe they use that psych level for a trade lower, but this is a big level here, massive level down here. Yes, in a very strong sell at the moment. Coming into some key levels. Apple finding bids. I absolutely love to see that. That gives me massive confidence in that name. Massive confidence. Tesla, the weak one today, 3.42% down. So giving back the whole of yesterday's squeeze by the look of it. Nvidia, new low of day here, starting to break down. All right. Tech starting to break down outside of Apple. Tech starting to break down. Big selling. All right, this H1, this is a H1 trend, remember, this right here. So it might be a cover point for those who observe it and care about it. It might not otherwise. We can, very strong sell. No reason to be long. Very hard to just sell this without some structure being formed. Very hard to sell it without structure being formed. All right, here's a retest of 500. Did anyone catch any of those shorts this morning? I know in Discord we talked about the short of previous day value area low. I caught a little bit. I'm up $500-600 at the moment. Not a lot, but a little start to the day pre-market. Oh. Watching this volume on the old H1 chart for the old weekly chart here. We are into thin volume here. There's a little node exactly where we are, and then through that, there's not a lot down to 422. There is not a lot down to 422 here. If they do not reclaim these levels, say 500 reclaim would have to happen. Otherwise, 422 is possible. Oh, you took it off Discord? Nice. Nice. No, I'm not in, Raf. I took a trade earlier, just a small trade pre-market. Not in yet, just waiting. VIX starting to break out. Wanted to see if we'd retest 500 or even squeeze up and then fail here. For shorts at the moment, we're just in a bleed off the open. 100 point move down off the open. At least we got some volatility back, which we haven't had for a while, have we? Instead of looking at 20 points opening range, we're already now at 115 points in the first 10 minutes. It's a bit more like it. Weakness in this market. VIX is getting going here, folks. VIX is getting going. I would not be surprised us to see us retest down here. Would not surprise me. How do you get into the Discord as a paid up course member? You just need to email it. At the end of the course, it says to email me. If you finish the course, it just says to email me with your credentials from the course, and I get you in there. It's on the last module in the course. Yeah. Reason it's done last is so that you understand what's being said, so you've done the lessons and it would make sense. All right, spiders getting near that 20 days, so mean reversion almost complete on the spiders already. For ES, you'd be looking for 24, so another 12 points or so. That would be your mean reversion complete. VIX is absolutely ripping through right now on the VIX. Okay, it's based and it's pushing. So I think there's a test of 66 coming up here. If we trade through that, we're going to trade 1850s. If we trade through that, we're trading 19s. If we trade through that, this market is going to go full on panic. Full on panic. Do not be catching a knife here today, folks. A little inside bar was probably the only short been possible so far. Right here, and it's still a little extended for me. Get an anchor on here. There we go. They're starting to add liquidity lower now. Three minutes until that opening range is set. And it's going to be large today. Really big. Might come down to that previous week open as well, which is just underneath previous week value area low. So 350s, I would say 360s, 350s. If you're in this short, will be a cover point. And if we're going to take out weekly lows, that's going to be 240s. And if we do that and we stay heavy under that, you can say goodbye to this market. All right. And if we stay heavy under 240s, that is a daily change in sentiment. It will probably be a weekly change in sentiment. It will be night market. All right. We talked about it in the newsletter. Those are the big levels for multi-time frame sentiment if we get there. If we get there, and we would have to stay heavy under it. It is not a flush of it. It is staying heavy versus it, which will cause this market to really panic. So mark that out if you haven't already, 240s. All right, Nvidia is desperate to find a bid here. It's coming back up towards its VWAP. It's trying to reclaim. The rest of the market continues to sell other than Apple, which is still green. Let's go, Apple. We like to see that. We like to see that. I got one, thank you. No. Yes, don't panic, Mr. Munring. Oh. So Nvidia selling VWAP. Spider's almost at that 20-day. So the SPY 20-day is currently about 654.70s. We're trading at 655.13s on the Spiders. So on the ETF, we are almost there. We are almost there. Where are the Qs? Why is this not showing it? And TradingView's been very slow recently. Not showing me. Maybe someone can tell me. TradingView's not telling me. It's still loading. Okay, here we go. QQQ would be basically 85. 585 would be your mean reversion to 20-day. Strong selling. Here's your opening range now. Your opening range now set. All right, opening range now set. Right into that higher time frame demand, just shy of the 400s. Remember that was a shelf there where I've marked out this blue is a shelf from previous week. So you're finding a little bit of a bid off that shelf for now. Maybe a retest of flow zones and VWAP, and then we can see what's what, which is basically 500s. And we've got some imbalances here. We've been pretty thin this morning on this move down. Sentiment still bearish. Just remember we've sold very heavily. I do not want to get short in a hole. All right, let's get some volume on here. Now we've set this in balance, we can have a look at what's what. I'm going to remove this because we've extended it. Look how slow TradingView is to load at the moment. Anyone else having these issues? Come on, where's the volume? It's crazy. Where's the volume, TradingView? Terrible. Still not loaded it. There we go, finally loaded. Okay, that's our distribution right now. You can see most of the volume traded down here in the session. You're finding some bids here for now. It looks like they want to trade back up towards VWAP, New York VWAP at the moment. Still got this down here if they want to trade lower. So I'm going to assume all pops are sold into until it proves otherwise, until we get a shift. You can see sellers on the book here, 70s and 80s. Protecting this low volume right now, didn't even get into it. 65s to 73s. Bulls are trying to step in here. They would like to step in here and make an attempt up to VWAP, I would imagine. And then if we sell VWAP, we can see what's what. Home sales, yeah, 10 o'clock. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, it's been really laggy, isn't it? TradingView. Don't know what's happened. All right, ES almost at the VWAP already. If we start reclaiming it, they can put a little bit of a squeeze back on towards that previous week POC. Remember, we're thin in here still versus last week. There's a bit. The shelf starts basically at 500. The point of control shelf, I would say, starts at 500, ends at about 550. POC right in the middle. So reclaim 500. I would say short term, lower time frame bulls will try and take control. Push into VWAP and 500 and fail. Rotation back down to retest this low and maybe lower. Remember, for bulls really to take control today, they're going to need some form of higher low to hold versus old lows, and then try and reclaim all the way up here for a squeeze up. At the moment, that looks like a long, long way away. All right, here is your VWAP. So 500s are above that. Here's the squeeze. starting to reclaim some of this low volume here for a squeeze back up. Remember, we sold off very, very heavily. This can rip really high if too many shorts got trapped at those lows. We were trying to work out about 300 points down of PDC today, so it's due a bit of a pushback up before they resell it. Here's VWAP. Have a look at the market, seeing if and who is finding a bid here, if anyone is. Are there any bids? Has anyone got the balls to bid on this market? Okay, just holding around VWAP. If they start failing here, we can play backside, but way too early right now. Nice reaction off ES on its push in. Remember, we have sold off a lot. This can squeeze a long, long, long way up if it wants. Would not surprise me at all. Starting to see some bids try and come in here. Here's the 500 test we just talked about. Here we go. So squeeze is on right now. Now this is the start of that point of control shelf. Previous week point of control 530. Reclaim that. They can go value. There's a push towards it. Apple's getting going here. 0.5% up. Incredible strength from Apple. Love to see it. Love to see it. POC coming up here for the test. If they trade through POC, remember, they can go back to the top side of that opening range. Yes, reclaiming New York VWAP. Major relief here on the market. Might not look like much, but it's already 100-point relief. VIX got absolutely slammed into 1775, coming back to RBS now. If VIX finds a bid here, we will get a resell back down. If it starts sliding, this squeeze can continue higher. Do they offer 500s? They are. They're trying to bid 500s here. Are we done selling? I'm watching this carefully on the tape. Nope. Gotcha. There's the 500s. All right, let's see if we sell back down to low of day now. Wow, we got very thin there. In this small size, see if we can sell 3 VWAP now. Come on then. Come on then. Do they retest VWAP and fail and go low of day here? Lovely. Come on. Come on. Sell through this imbalance. Beautiful. Keep selling. Keep selling. Covering some here. Want to see if we flush down to lower day now that we caught all those bulls. So rejected that previous week volume. Here we go. A little bit more off here. Looking to see if we can get follow through now. Want to be careful. This is where buyers stepped in today, so I'm respecting this level. So wanted to see the under over. Once we did this, selling here, covering some here, looking for this. If we break down, here is an imbalance. We traded through this thin volume now. If we stay heavy here, we will make new lows. If they find bids here, then this is possible. So I'm covering some here now and looking for this down here. There's a big seller stepped in there. He just went, no, 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 I'm not done yet, which is what you want to see. Still selling this hard. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Lacking liquidity, lower to search for at the moment. 420s is on the book, so maybe we can get those 420 breaks and then get 63s if we get lucky. Nice. Nice from VIX as well, finding the bid at RBS like we talked about. Don't mind like re-adding here if we firm up for the sell. If pops start to fail, I don't mind re-adding in. But right now I'm just going to be patient. Don't want to get trapped down here, so I don't want to sell low. So far, follow through looks good. Respecting this volume node at the moment. And we trade into 440s and then just let go of the whole thing. Don't want to see any reclaim of what's this here, 80s. Basically VWAP. Don't want to see a reclaim of VWAP. We look good. We look good. Make sure you're paying yourself along the way. Yes, looks great. Watch your ATR as well here, folks. All right, watch your ATR. Because the swipes and spikes can be very big if someone gets stuck. Watching to see if 80s fail, if there's a push to 80 which fails or not. If not, then I won't add. Here we go. Can we get follow through? Important we see follow through on this candle here. Not seeing it. Come on, close weak. We need follow through to the downside here for this bear flag continuation to lower day. I'll be very careful. It's point of control now. Built out lots and lots of volume here. All right, taking this off. Can always reload in. So locked in. What am I up now? About $1,000 here. And let's see. See, I was already up some good money before. Well, a little bit of money before the open. Yeah, news in 5 minutes or 4 minutes. Here's the retest of these 75s and 80s. I want to be careful here. So we are still in a sell model, but we're very, very low. Here's the squeeze. This is the relief. There's the fail. This needs to fail here and build out for this to come low of day. Reclaim of this and a bigger squeeze up towards the New York Open as possible, which is why I'm saying like cover some here. I will add if this firms up here. All right, if we go fail, I don't mind adding. But right now, do not want to be adding down here. This is where currently buyers are in control intraday, right? Buyers are in control intraday right here. The target is this down here. If we can get more shorts and then this, and then beyond that, it will be full panic mode for this market. So far, they're protecting it. Remember, we are very, very, very low. Make sure you are zooming out, okay? The sell opportunities were all the way up here, the best sell opportunities. Do not be surprised to see bids come in the market if shorts get stuck. I'll probably wait for this news now. If you're thinking, why are we selling when that 8:30 print, that news was good? Well, that's why we're selling. The data was probably too good, meaning that less likely to have a rate cut given the data that came out. So the market doesn't like that. Market wants a rate cut. And you might get Fed comments on it. Okay, are they going to give follow through here? And if you get that lower day break, we should really go to sort of the 350s, 360s. How long to news? 2 minutes. Most of the mag near low of day. See if NVIDIA breaks down underneath these 74s. It's trying to bid up at the moment and holding. So it came back into PDL, found a bid, failed PDL, and now it's trying to form an RBS on NVIDIA. Key levels here on the market. We look good. Here's your lower day. If it swipes this, you can look for previous week value area low. So if you're still in the short, probably should have reloaded there in front of 80 like I talked about. But here we go. This is the move we were talking for. You got a minute left. you will need, and shorts will need, the expansion underneath the opening range. All right, they will need that to get out of their shorts, be able to cover some in the money, and then you're looking for previous week value area low and then 240s. It's showing that news dropped early, is it? I haven't seen anything. Oh, I am seeing, yeah, I am seeing existing home sales earlier. That's very odd. I didn't even check. That's a new one. So what have we got here? All right, books cleared out. Look at book map above me. Completely cleared out. You can see 50, 100 point swipes very quickly here unless they start to thicken up this book. Be very careful. Be very, very careful. Building liquidity down here. You will need a breakdown of this to come down into this pocket if you're looking for that continuation short. So far, we cannot reclaim the New York VWAP. We are still inside the opening range, though. That VWAP starting to flatten out a bit. Home sales better than expected. And again, that's not good for the market, all right, because people want a rate cut. So it's just like the news earlier. The numbers are coming in strong, which is not good for a rate cut, which the market might not like, which will frustrate Donald, because if Mr. Powell says, hey, we don't need to cut rates, home sales are improving, employment's improving, blah, 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 he's going to get very annoyed. Very annoyed. Okay, retest of view up here. Remember, this is all flattening out now. I'm flat on the session at the moment, just waiting now. Shorts didn't get the break of that low yet. We're still not bullish. We're in a trend lower. And we're starting to build out range. Here's VWAP. Here's 500s coming. Remember, the start of that weekly shelf is basically 500 up to 530s. So POC actually goes a bit above this. This is an old weekly shelf, is basically from here. The very thick volume here on a weekly previous week. Just be aware of that. $500 test here, like we talked about. Starting to see bulls try and take control here. You might see some forced covering here soon. Last time we came up here, there was a big seller operating right here. Biggest volume on the day other than that opening print. There's a big seller operating up here. Yeah, exactly, Todd. All numbers were better than expected. Market doesn't really like that. VIX pulling back here to the RBS level and previous day high again. Decision point coming up for this market. We're starting to reclaim flow zones. We're starting to reclaim the VWAP, which is still going sideways. So flow zones and VWAP starting, well, they are going sideways. We've had no sweep of that low. And it's possible that shorts will get squeezed out here soon if we don't break down under these lows. Very, very, very possible. And then we can think about the trade back upside. This imbalance here is holding. So I'd say if bulls protect this level here, this is possible, and then we can think about what next once we get there. Next target would be up here, really. Previous day value, area low, previous day low. Right, this will be target for bulls. Reclaim that, bigger squeeze. Fail there, retest the low. We went over that pre-market. All right, here's previous week point of control coming up. So the squeeze is definitely on at the moment. We've not really seen much of a pullback since we've initiated this squeeze off that double bottom. I want to be careful here. It can still be a two-leg to sell. Can still be a two-leg to sell. Supply is all above us right now. This is where a big seller came in last time, just marketed in and slammed this lower. Point of control coming here. Previous week point of control coming here. You can see they started to sell into that, panicking that this same guy would come in and just slam us 100 points. So far, it looks good. So into these deep pullback flow zones, do we start shifting, taking control of the previous week POC? Do we get a flow zone flip? Yeah, quite right. VIX drifting underneath that PDH right now. Watch your sizing here. If you're going to try and play the counter trend for relief back up, you've got to watch your sizing. Because if we pull back to VWAP right now, it's 40 points. And the main trend is down currently. Until we start reclaiming all the key levels, the main trend is down. Here's the test, previous week point of control. Did we tap it? Can we reclaim it and squeeze? Tapping into it. And the next target will be 47s. 47s, sorry, 76s. Can't read. All right. Big old squeeze. So double bottom down here. Sellers got stuck, failed to break down under here. If we hold bids anywhere here now, you're looking for that New York Open. We reclaim New York Open, you're looking for previous day value, area low, and supply, and then we can see what's what once we get there. We've had deep sell this morning. It is due some relief, which you're starting to get. Think about how much liquidity, how many stops are in here to go and attack if they want to. There are lots and lots and lots of stops who have been left in the money. And double bottom here, relief here, very, very possible. If they start getting through this sort of 580s, 600s, very, very possible. We need to build out some structure. At the moment, we're just squeezing. Morning, Firewater. All right, over 110 of you not hit that like button. We need to get to 110 likes, and I'll give away an Apex account, at least one account today on stream. All right, ES coming up to test its 24-hour VWAP. Q's trading through it. Spiders trading through it. Coming to test or look like they want to test towards that higher day. We need some structure here. If we're going to play long, we're going to need a pullback. Moment, this is straight squeeze. This is shorts trapped at that lower day. VIX starting to fail, well inside the range, trading 17s now. Just looking at my wish list, thinking who can I pick up cheap? No one still, really. ES stuck at its 24-hour VWAP at the moment. We need to see if pullbacks happen and hold. Remember, every other time frame is very, very bearish. This is an H1 reprice right now. We've gone wick to wick with that 8 a.m. H1. Just holding point of control. I want a bigger move down here first before we squeeze up. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to get involved. Yes, into that VWAP again, 24-hour VWAP. I'm going to do an anchor off this low. Let's do two. Let's do one off low of day. And let's do one off this pivot. Even that, where is it? There we go, took ages. Yeah, I want to see a pullback somewhere into here to see if it holds. Might not get it here. $24-hour VWAP coming. ES already into it. That New York Open and VWAP the key. Here we go. Squeeze is on here, folks. Squeeze is on here, folks. We can have a lot of relief. I would say the next target long is 631s. If we trade through this, so I would say 588, 600, 631s. Way up here. This is a two-leg. Remember, this can fail, which is why I want to see a pullback, hold, and base above. That's why I'm still waiting for at the moment. Cheapest calls, yeah. I think they will probably be pretty good for you at the moment. Remember, daily is still bullish. Like we talked about, dailies and weeklies are still bullish. We've gone neutral on H1, H4, M15, M30 have gone bearish. Waiting to see if we pull back and hold this area or not. Right, we're still in the opening range. This is our opening range. Waiting to see if we pull back here and hold it, or if we fail for a deeper rotation. So if you are long here, you better be taking some money off. If we break out and hold this, then I'll consider it there, but I'd much rather see us pull back and hold 50% of this range, and I can see what's what. Moment, it doesn't look willing to give me anything. Yeah, Vic's getting nailed up there. Coming up to that New York Open. You're going to force me to chase, you absolute bastard. All right, holding New York. I'm in. Small, small, small size. Taking some straight away through that squeeze through VWAP. Expecting a deeper pullback. What a bugger. Pull back for me, please. I'd rather take this off a remainder break even and have a deeper pullback to get involved. Yeah, nice, Julian. Yeah, really nice. Really nice. It was that shift here, which when we had low volume at the time down here, once we reclaim this, we've had no pullback since then. Was this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 minutes straight up. 53s, 120 points, straight up. I'll rotate some accounts here. So still trading inside opening range, still at that New York Open. I would like a deeper pullback into some of these, really would be more ideal. Let me check that old weekly level. Yeah, definitely supply that. H1, 98. Yeah, somewhere in here. If we pull back to here, it would be nice. If we start failing this level, then I'm going to consider it a two-leg pullback, which is finished, and maybe they have more sell pressure come in. I want to be careful because we have one leg, two leg. If they don't hold above this first leg and they fail, then a deeper rotation can happen because this has been a relief rally so far. Please come deeper. Please come deeper here. Here we go. So right, that New York Open, starting to see sellers come back in here. So I am interested. If they hold 31s to 500s, and putting some bullish structure there, I'm interested in playing long. If they start failing that level and building out structure, I'm interested in potentially playing back down short for previous week value area low. Really depend how we build the structure. It's what it's going to depend on. At least for me, that's what I'm looking for, how we build the structure. We're in a 161 point rotation right now. We traded 161 points down, 161 points up in the New York Open in 45 minutes. That's what we've done. So the range is there. Come on, sell it and then ping it back up. Sell it first though, don't pump it. VIX getting absolutely hammered here. Back under 17s. Oh, Coop, look at Neo. Man, every one of my swing calls is going without me, not picking me up. One of those weeks. No pullback then. Well, there was. It's just like non-existent pullback. Holding New York. Are we going to squeeze through? All right, still in a little piece then. Let's see if we can trade up to value. This is not what I wanted, but scalp this along the way because we're getting extended here. And we're looking for that trade into value and previous day lows. So sort of around the 30 area. Here you go. Boom. Sell a little piece into the whole number of 600. Looks good. Nice W. Big recovery. That's why I was saying don't want to get short in a hole. And we get nice relief here. So I'll be watching that previous day value area low and previous day low key. Why are they key? Well, what would this be down here if we reclaim? This would be a failed auction. This would mean all the sellers down here get stuck. So if we reclaim here, we can trade back upside. No, Raf, don't tell me that. What's he speaking about? Oh, God. Don't tell me that. So you got a target here of 25s and sort of 30s above you. Sell some into 600s, what I just did. Oh yeah, it's annoying. I mean, I took this for a scalp, but it's very annoying. Very annoying. Yeah. I doubt that is on the agenda. Speaking in Turkey. Well, you better be a bit careful how he talks about Islam then. He starts saying too much, they will get very annoyed. Right. Are we going to pull back? Have we got any chance in pulling back here? This is a straight ripper higher. Oh, through the 600s now. It wants that previous day value area low, previous day low. Oh my God. I've got no size on this. So you can see we're not in alignment up here. Higher time frame's in a sell, lower time frame is in a buy. Right, so this is a pullback leg, higher time frame right now. Higher time frame being M15 to H1. This is your key level, all right? This was your key level. This is where we broke down from. We did retest it pre-market. If we start reclaiming that, we are going to probably trade all the way up here. Oh, Apex back to 80% sale and 85 lifetime PAs. Is it really? Bella, why haven't you texted me? You probably have. Probably haven't checked my phone. Great tier. Oh, there you go, folks. So FCT will get you 80% off Apex now and $85 for the activation fee. Super, super, super cheap. Means it's coming in at around $100 or just under $100, I think, for a 50K account. Very good. All right, here's the pullback to the opening range in New York Open. Do they find a bid here, or are they going to let this go and protect previous day value area low? Just want to see if we sweep 632 and then fail. That's what I'm really interested in. I want to see if we do some nasty move, right? So we do something like this and then this, rather than keep bidding up off it, because we're very steep. So I'm wondering if we do that, because that would take out that old H1 from 8 a.m. into a bit of a thin liquidity move that we did at 7 a.m. So pullbacks are holding here above that opening range and above New York. Nvidia gone green on the day, folks. Nvidia has gone green on the day. Can give you a readout of the market. Tesla's the weak one right now, just under 3% down. That's followed by Meta, 1.65% down. Microsoft and Google both 0.8% down. Amazon's trying to go red to green. Apple is 0.5% up. Nvidia is 0.11% up. No pullback. I took the long from 522, stopped out 563, 522. It's nice, yeah. Reclaim around here. Trigger above this. Not bad. Not bad at all. You can see they're stacking both sides. Look at the book now above. They're stacking both sides. So look at the algo. I want to see us take this H1 high and either fail or hold. Starting to hold bids above New York open here. Starting to see some of the mag try and go green. I want to see how we operate at this previous day value area high. Value area low, sorry. Previous day low, previous day value area low. I want to see how we operate there. We are in a squeeze, you can see. It's going to be a big level all the way up to 660 and then through that London low. Here we go. Right, how do we operate once we get through this? Do we trap above this H1 high and fill that imbalance to 670? ES got a little way to catch up towards its previous day low, which is what we're coming into now. ES got a little way to go to catch up. Straight squeeze in. This is oh, it's annoying. Off that W print, it didn't even pull back and test that W at 22. It just went boom. We just go one direction at the moment. Right, protecting value area low and previous day low. We haven't actually tagged it yet. We got close. We haven't tagged it yet. All this liquidity here it can aim for to squeeze out if it wants. I haven't even tested flow zones. It's crazy. Shorts are stuck in this off low of day right now. All right, there's previous day low. Value area low just above it. And this is nuts. That's the pullback. I mean, honestly, one tiny bar like that without filling any of this, that's mental. I think there should be a deeper pullback in this market. It might just be after it takes out this H1 high, which is value area low. The 8 a.m. high. Why is there so much news suddenly flashing? What's going on here? All right, finance juice, calm yourself. Jesus. Stuck at previous day low right now. ES has got a long way to go to catch up if it's going to get up there. How do I have my volume profile set up to show previous week and previous day? I draw it. Watch the video. I draw it. It's not automatic. I draw it on. All right, there's value area low. So we've now taken that H1 wick. If it wants to go all the way up to 60s and 80s, it can. This is a straight squeeze. Shorts are caught in this. It looks like ES wants to go previous day low as well. And it's doing it without me. What are you going to do? There's not a lot you can do when it does this, honestly. What a pain. Let's just straight up. What happens when shorts get stuck? It makes it very hard for us to join unless you're a very big boy and you're willing to join in on those lows, which I am not. So I'm not big enough to do that. Come on, give us some meaningful pullback to join in on. Anything. Here's a retest of previous day low. Will they trade through it? Will they come back down towards that opening range? Doesn't look like they've got any interest in moving lower at all right now. Hopefully they will. We can hope. So with some people, it doesn't matter how many times I tell them that I work at this time, they still try and call and text all the time. Off. Honestly. It's always the same people. Do I call you when you're at your 9 to 5? No. So don't call me when I'm working. All right, we have swept previous day value area low. We have swept that H1. I want to see a pullback here. And if we crash here, it also wouldn't surprise me because it would be the sweep of that H1 and a turn back inside. That's why I'm saying we can trap up here if we want in this imbalance. This is insane. Seriously, are we only going to pull back to that? We're just going to hold PDL and go now. Oh, what an insane market. I know, Peter. I know. Problem is now as well, it's taken the low-hanging fruit. It has taken the low-hanging fruit, which was that H1. So it's really hard now. They've made it triply difficult to want to long this now, knowing that we've, well, for me and how I play, knowing that we've taken low-hanging fruit, it makes it very hard for me to be like, oh yeah, I definitely want to long this. Any pullback to VWAP maybe? $600s maybe? Anything? Anything at all, market? Might be that H1 trap, honestly. Pretty concerned this is the H1 trap here. Pretty concerned this might be a big short. If you're wondering why, this is what I was just talking about before. Is this here. Squeeze up. Over this, into this, fail back down. It's what we're starting to see. It is definitely what we're starting to see. Yeah. I'm very uninterested in the longs now because we've taken the low-hanging fruit. We've just trapped above that H1 high and previous day value. We're starting to reject it. I'm trying to just think this through higher time frame. Do I want to bid down here? I don't think I do at the moment. This was the problem was that this was the objective for me. I would have liked to have seen. Let's just delete that. I would have liked to have seen this here to trade to that objective. The fact that we've now taken that objective means this trade here, it's possible, but it's way more risky because we've just traded for that trap. Are flow zones holding? Yes. Does ES still have previous day low to go for? Yes, it does. All those things are true. But low hanging fruit just got taken, and if they are going to sell over that H1 high, it will be very, very risky. Yeah, no worries, Richard. Yeah, they're all drawn on. All right, this is drawn on every morning. My previous weeks are drawn on at the end of each week. That's how it goes in the newsletter. It's all manually done. There's probably indicators that do it for you. I'm just I'm not advanced enough for that. I do it all manually. Man, oh man, 600 test coming here, I think. Oh, which way to play? Which way to play? Which way to play? ES looks like a better long at the moment because it's left the liquidity. We can reprice a long way still. It's true. Just thinking everything through in my head. I just need to see how we react. I need to see how we build it out. Do we build a little bear trap in for a continuation squeeze? I guess is all I'd be interested in. Initial balance now set as well, folks. IB now set. Where's any liquidity higher? 650s. There is a guy at 675. Which is kind of no man's land. That's the edge of yesterday. Okay. Remember, we haven't retested any of this. This is a straight up squeeze after taking the liquidity. One more spike here because I don't really like how we've left that there. Would be nice, and then a failure back down, I think. Or a bear trap if they want to set up some form of bear trap and curl. That's also okay. Just don't want to bid here. It might be fussy of me, but I don't want to bid here. Oh, Neo, you're so annoying. Coop, what did you pick up calls in? IREN. Did you get Neo? I can't remember if you got Neo. And did you get HOND? I need HOND to pull back a lot. Because I've got a risk 10 on it. Way too high now. Look at what I said yesterday as well. ALB. 5% today. All right, market feels like it wants to squeeze out a bit high. I think ES wants to come and test previous day high, low and try and trade through 73s. I wouldn't mind one little rip higher and then see if there's some sort of failure pattern to take back down. I don't really want to buy up here. You didn't get HOND or Neo. Yeah, same as me. You had IREN but cashed out yesterday. Nice. Yeah, I think we still ALB looks really good as a basket. So I think we still watch ALB, HOND, and Neo. If we get a significant pullback in the quantum names, I'll consider it. But at the moment, like IONQ, MBTS, RGTI, they're all still a little too extended for my appetite. All right, so it's holding those flow zones. It's trying to get back through previous day value area low and the initial balance, and probably going to look for one more squeeze up here, I would say, and maybe come and test all the way up to 680 as possible. All right, so we're thin from 630 to 680. What is this traded off? If I've drawn that off. All right. I depends on what account I'm using, whether I'm using my UK savings or not. But trading 212 or where's my mind gone blank? It's down here. Let me find it. Trade Station. There you go. Almost went blank. I think this wants one more little squeeze out here, and we might get a failure in that imbalance unless we reclaim everything. This is not a reclaim for me. All right, this is just a hover. We need to push, pull, and hold. At the moment, this is very, very susceptible to failure. Any more news? Just Fed talk, I think. Fed talk all day. What's the rest of the news? Yeah, just Fed talk. Bar at 1 o'clock. Logan at 1:40. Daily at 3:30. Oof. Seeing some weakness here. That sweep of that H1 high is starting to look pretty good. I would like one more push up over it, just to clean out that little double top bollocks that we've left up there into the initial balance high, and then see if there's failure or a bid over it. One or the other. All right, folks, we need another 13 likes here. That's all we need to do an Apex giveaway. It's still protecting 600 right now. So it's M15 looking like. '82s. Yeah, this level here, value. Oof, oof, oof. What a one-way directional market. What a pain. What a pain. We'll get set up here. It's all right. I'm not up badly on the day. Just always feel like I'd like to be up more when I see this much movement, but best trades happened overnight. Best trades happened overnight. What I'm looking for at the moment is a little clear out of this, and then if we see a failure here, I think there's a deeper move, and then if we base here, we can rotate. If we fail here, there's a bigger move here. So I want to see something like this, like a failed initial balance. If we just start bidding up and up and up and up, I'm just going to have to be forced to join in. I don't really want to do that. My RR is skewed, especially without testing this area here. If we leave this, this will become an area of interest for tomorrow because we've built out good volume here. But I would imagine at some point we will come back and check this. Nvidia starting to sell here, folks. Starting to get stuck at that higher time frame algo. It's above PDC right now. It's green on the day. It's had a good push, but it's starting to get a little bit stuck on Nvidia. It needs to break above 770 basically. Previous day high 79.80s. It will come, it will come, it will come. Just don't want to chase the long at this point. Already had a couple chases, made a little bit of money, but I don't want to chase it here. I want to see a little squeeze out and a fail. And ideally, that will be like ES and spiders into PDL and fail. If they start reclaiming it, we have to rethink everything. If we're going to go in a trend day all the way back up, if we're going to reprice the whole of Asia, we need to rethink it. Let's just have a think. Yeah, already getting close. Already getting close. 720 is very thick. That's the Globex low. Yeah, well, we got expansion. We got expansion finally. That's why we got the opening of range. It's started to go to sleep a bit here, though. Got comments from Bowman, probably not helping. I mean, they all literally just repeat each other. This is crazy. How are we having these strong moves and then building out a range like this? How long have we been here now? 25, 20 minutes. Sideway range. How many points? Back in that 20-point sideway range. It's like yesterday now. Like yesterday now. Gap to 740. I wouldn't say so. I'd say the test would be up towards sort of 660, 680 tops. That would be the, or at least it can go more than that. I mean, that would be the first check, right? That would be the first checkpoint into here. Fill the gap would be 740. Oh, I see what you mean. The PDC would be 740. Yeah. I mean, that would be pretty impressive. Pretty impressive if it did that move. Yeah, just flip POC. And we've just been here too long. That's why. This is like the last few days. Like, I wouldn't even call this double distribution. It's like triple. Gross. Come on, market. You know what you need to do. It will push through, and then let's see if we get failures or a base. There's the push. There's the IB high. Yeah, still got a gap to PDL. Nowhere near it. And if we recover the whole overnight without a significant pullback into test like a base, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but it would be quite annoying, wouldn't it? If we create this pivot and then we just go straight upside without any retest of it, it would be quite annoying. It would be quite annoying. Would not surprise me. We'd look at Nvidia now breaking out. So that pump was off Nvidia, now up 0.5% on Nvidia. Shows how much power that stock has on this market. Okay. What are we doing? Was that the failed push? What are we doing? ES is not following suit. Was that it? That tiny little sweep? Was that it? Don't feel like enough to me. Don't just sit here in this fucking 20-point range like the last few days. Oh, it's been exhausting when it does this. And then what happens is I leave stream, I go and make some food, and I come back and it's done some ridiculous move without me. It's happened every day this week. Okay, back to gut check this range. So far, we've just swept those highs. And that's the H1 high, and I would not be surprised if we need to come deeper. ES is not following suit to the upside right now. Just remember that. This might be it, folks. This might be a dive down. All right. Might come and sweep all these guys out. I've got a little piece on here just in case. 20s, nice. Come and sweep everyone out here. Come down to 600s, and then come real puke would be 580s. Still holding this gross. This is gross. This for buyers is gross. This is dangerous. This is your sweep. I would not be surprised to see this. Not in the slightest. I would prefer that to have poked into there and then failed down into here, but we're starting to see it. Here we go. PSC, yeah, currently 622. Yeah. I just think the only thing is ES needs to get back above and do the sweep. We've got divergence here, so for you that do SMT, like that is a divergence. Right, NQ swept, ES did not sweep. The hardest thing right now is that the strength of NVIDIA. For me is probably the hardest thing at the moment. Is the 620s? Are we going to wash down? Video's still going. New high of day NVIDIA, come in. Holding above its IB right now, NVIDIA. Very, very different to the rest of the market. There's NVIDIA, new high day. 78's coming on NVIDIA. And this can keep going. This can keep going. The only thing I'd say, NVIDIA is very strong. ES looks like it wants to gut check PDL before we do anything else. So I'm just wondering if it needs a bigger squeeze out. I've taken this off break even here on the rest. You've got 65 and 670s above us on the tape. You can see them. I wonder if we lift as soon as we get there as well. Oh, man. Impressive. Impressive. All right, this is the move. Now we're gut checking properly. Come on, ES, you've got to join. Otherwise, you're going to absolutely ruin this trade, just like yesterday. Need alignment. VIX is still failing, by the way. Didn't feel any of these players. Did they move? No. So 660 to 670, still looking to fill those players. Globex is basically 700s. Yes, still not breaking out. NVIDIA is still pushing. Still pushing on Nvidia. Where can it run to? Where's previous day high? Basically 80s. It's coming into its supply yesterday where it broke down from. If it reclaims that, it will go previous day high. And the structure for NQ is terrible. This is just squeeze. I don't believe this is any genuine accumulation up here. I think this is shorts getting trapped, which means it can need more relief again. Yeah, still not through its initial balance high. Still not joining in. Still not alignment. Still not testing that PDL. I still think there's a short coming at some point. It's just when. When this squeeze is over, I think there's a short all the way back down to VWAP. Nvidia pulling back. Watching this carefully. I hate the structure of this, but I'm watching this now. It's going to do it, isn't it? There's value. All right. Little piece. Here's 20s again. Remember, we've built a low resistance liquidity, you might want to call it, trendline liquidity, whatever you want to call it. Bear traps can live underneath that, all right, if they hold this. But I think there's a short back down to here and maybe even here. Here you go. So stronger selling coming in here off that supply block. So this is why we wanted to see that get tested properly. ES has still not done the move. I'm slightly concerned about the alignment here, folks, but I think there is a move lower coming. We've swept the H1. It feels like those buyers are trying to force their way higher. There is a chance of a move lower here. It's just the hardest thing right now is the alignment. It's being an absolute fucker. Come on. Come and take this low-hanging fruit out, all these stops. Come and take all these stops out. Here we go. Come on. Just give follow through. Stop faffing. NQ. You're so annoying when you're like this. Just go. We all know what you want to do. Straight down. There you go. Flush them. Flush, 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 flush. ES starting to join in now. Nvidia pulling back to initial balance. Want to see Nvidia let go of an initial balance. Flush, 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 flush. Come on. Stop faffing around. Got to take some off here because Nvidia's trying to find a bid. If we stay heavy versus previous day value area low and we start to flip the flow zones, I'll become more interested. The biggest problem right now is that ES did not gut check its previous day low, and it's left like about 4 highs up there at 72, which I do not like. I would have loved ES to have just swiped through towards 78 and then failed, but we are where we are. We get what we get. $650 strong level. Yeah, that's where we had it drawn out. It's where we bid off yesterday, if you're wondering. All right, so if you zoom out yesterday, this is where we found bids off. So this is where this was excess, this was buyers, this is where we're selling from. Reclaim this, whole different ball game. Yes, you're being such a pain in the bum. Such a pain in the butt. Nvidia still at IB high, still trying to base. ES still in its range, has not done the fail breakout of the high like we have in NQ. So like I keep saying, the alignment is not perfect right now, folks. Just be aware of that. Be aware of that. We are in an initial balance rotation type play back down towards VWAP here. All the time it stays heavy. If it doesn't stay heavy, then it's a different ball game, obviously. We start reclaiming IB, we can go back up and retest supply, especially if ES keeps doing what it's doing right now, which is becoming a real pain. the alignment or lack of alignment between ES and NQ, the divergence at play for, well, what will be now 2 weeks. We were hoping that divergence will have stopped in the new contract, but it seems to be getting worse and worse. And I was doing some reading in that, and it's very common on a new contract when VIX is trading over and around 17, so that divergence starts to play out more. All right, these 620s and 610s still holding for now. I'm looking for a sweep of those back down towards VWAP. That's all I want. Just give me a trade back down towards that opening range. And then we can see what's what after that. Looking for this to fail and a swipe down here. Do not want any reclaim of up here. It is a little early here for sure, especially with what ES is doing. So small size. If this H1 does not want to let go, then you just have to admit it doesn't want to do it, because ES is going to be a pain in the arse, which is what it's being right now, and has unfinished business. It needs to swipe those highs, and it's going to cause the divergence and make my life very, very hard. All right, look at the difference. We've tagged into here on screen. ES has left all these highs. This is why ES is being a pain in the arse. It would have been really nice if it had just timed it with us. But of course it can't do that. It has to make our life a misery. Still no sweep. Incredible. Thanks, ES. Ruined this trade for me. Still got to fill these guys. They've been there all day. Yeah, 65s and 70s. Still got to fill them at the moment. No, I was in shorts. I've taken it off. Like I said, not going to let it go through previous day value, area low, and IB high. So taking it off. Just have to wait. It might not come. It might be that they're like, no, we've got too many shorts caught. We're just going to keep squeezing and squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. And that squeeze might be absolutely huge. I mean, look at the size of the current H1 candle. We've got 4 minutes left. Look at this H1 candle. We traded a low of 422. We're trading a high of 655. It's massive. We've done the damage in the H1. It's not offered a pullback for even a moment of significance. Think about the new candle, 10 o'clock here. This is the current H1 candle. All right, no pullback, nothing. I'm looking for this. But ES is going to make it impossible by the looks of it so far. ES still couldn't take out that high. Let me have a look. What's up there? Nothing. Nothing up there to stop it. Mad. Which means it's going to be hard for me to pull a trigger on a short again until we've taken all of that out. Flow zones are pointing up. Like I said, I was early there. I admitted I was early, which is why we take it off when it doesn't work. Do not sit through the pain. Oh, yes, just go and swipe the high. Just do something. Have a look around here. Tesla back to VWAP. Might squeeze soon, Tesla. Nvidia above its IB high. Microsoft about to close its gap. All of these mag reversing is incredible. Meta stuck near at VWAP at the lows. Google at previous day low, trying to trade through it to get to PDC. Incredible. Amazon. Should I have taken that dip this morning? Let me have a look. $220. What's my average price on that? Sorry, folks, I'm just sorting out other accounts. Where's AMD trading at? Is my only one still down? Looks good. Maybe a sweep of 150 on AMD and I'll buy it. Maybe a sweep of 150 and I'll buy it on AMD. All right. Okay. ES still unable to do it. I still think the same play is available here. It's just they're going to make it pretty much impossible. You've got this horrible uptrend. We don't buy on that. And we've got AMD failing to do the failed breakout. We just, AMD, ES, we need ES to do a failed breakout, and then we need one of these down to here. And ES is just, well, it's being a pain. It is being an absolute pain right now. I know, Noah. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, here we're getting sell continuation here. Back down to the low side of this range. Like I said, I think we're going to trade lower. We haven't had a gut check. We've been straight up on this H1. This is a new H1 bar now. Maybe this H1, maybe it needs to wick the old H1 high first. I don't know. But there's a trade down to 590 here if it wants it. If it wants it. Think about how big that last H1 is. Think about what this one could do. Could offer the pullback. Even if we're then going to bid up later, this could offer the pullback. The hardest thing, like I keep saying, is ES not in alignment. I would imagine we'll want to sweep out all these late bulls, offer that pullback down towards the opening range in VWAP, and see if they offer a bid down there. Do they keep moving this higher? Yeah, so these offers... No, they didn't. I'm lying. Yes, they did. No, they didn't. No, they didn't move higher. Come on, just come down, for God's sake. Come on. We all know what you want to do. You just have to make it so hard. You have to mess around so much. Come on. Fucking 620s. Who keeps offering down there? Fuck off. Let it sweep everyone out, for God's sake. Why would you even offer there? There we go. Calm back down to 600s, please. There's 620s gone. Stop bidding here. Let it come and sweep. Come on. Absolute morons. Thank you, for God's sake. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's see if we can get all the way under 602s. Ha ha ha! God, had to have 3 attempts at this. Right, I'd like it to trade down into some of these blocks, right? Where we've got that thin liquidity right here. And we've got New York open and we've got all these VWAPs, all right? And if we do that and offer a double bottom or some form of thing up here and then bid up here, then I think we're going higher because this will be the sweep to go higher, right? If we fail this, then I think we're going to return all the way back down to the lows. Yes, finally letting go. It didn't even take the highs out, which is kind of gross. But like I said, we had S&T or divergence there, however you want to call it. Come on, let's see if we can get it. Let go of 600. 600s is 600s? Yeah, 600s. God, they're making me work for this today, man. I feel like I'm actually working. ES coming back towards its VWAP already, folks. So just be careful here. Hey, Red Candle. I thought you were in here. Or were you streaming today as well? I know you stream. Thought you were in here this morning. So currently in shorts, looking for this breakdown from here towards here in this low volume. You can pay yourself along the way. Yes, already finding a bid at VWAP. So the divergence continues to play out. You've got to be careful. Nvidia still holding its initial balance high right now, folks. I still think we have an ability here for a deeper wash. All right, think about what this H1 did. All right, we had an H1 high, which was right here. This H1 printed all the way up and over it. We expect some form of pullback in the next H1. If it wants to hold this level, then after that, we might want to print all the way up there. That's fine. If it fails this level, the H1 after that might want to print all the way down here. But we would like to see this current H1 return in towards, I don't know, anywhere from 90s all the way down here would be amazing, 20s, but I don't think we get that far. We're coming. I would like to see us reprice this low vol. Again, ES remains your pain in the butt. All right, this is why ES is right here. So it failed to take the high, and it's already at VWAP and New York Open. So just be careful if ES finds a bid off this, then it might drag us up. If it fails like this, it would be fantastic. So it took me a few attempts to get that, unfortunately. Guess what ES is doing? It's finding a bid on VWAP. Of course it is. Of course it is. All right, I want to make sure you all understand why this happened. All right. This was the move into high time frame demand, right here. This was the reprice. This took out this H1 liquidity. This was a thin candle. Here we had the imbalance. This reprices that imbalance. This H1 might want to pull back towards here or 50%. If it holds that level, it's possible that we come for a bigger squeeze. If we fail this level, we fail. We just completely fail. All right. If it prints an inside bar, which it's very highly probable going to do, and we have to trade each side of that inside bar afterwards. But we would like this to come down into here. That's what we'd like. So you think about this structure. Dum, 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 dum. This would make sense, wouldn't it? So higher time frame pullback. Even if we want to go higher, we're in this short here because the main trend is short. It's probably the easier play today. It's looking good now, folks. It's looking good now. Come on, baby. Come to papa. All right, break of 602s would be key, and then we can try and get into these 83s. Here we come. Here we come. ES failing its VWAP. Here we come. Finally. Finally. Can you smell what float zone is cooking? Come on, come to Papa. Come to Papa. Here we come to Papa. Thank you for coming to Papa. All right. Make sure you're paying yourself into these anchors, please. Take some money off the table. All right, these are key levels here into this thin volume. All right, if it wants to keep failing, it can. So you can leave runners on. But the high probability move based on that H1 was into here. If they want to find a bid anywhere around here, they can. All right, because this can be what? This can be liquidity we come back and use later. All right, to go higher. If the intention is to go higher, if the intention was just to sweep this, fail under here, guess what we're coming for? Previous week value area low. All right, but the high probability move has gone, so you've got to lock some in. Hopefully that made sense. Did I explain it all for you enough? Do you understand that H1 play? Why we looked for that H1 play? Why that sweep was key? We were calling that out all the way when we were down here. The annoying thing is I wanted a long from here for that H1 play, but it just didn't offer anything. So I think I scalped a bit here and scalped a bit here. But really, if we pull back to there, that was a really high probability long, and this becomes the high probability short. And then either this or this is possible next. But hopefully it made sense for you all. Let me know in chat if it made sense for you all. You can still hold runners here, but you've got to be taking some of your money off. This is agitating, man. I'm trying to catch this short this whole time. Can we just get down to VWAP? Oh, we've done it now. There you go. What do you think about the higher volume candle on the green candle H1? Just think it's a short squeeze. That's all I think about it. Yeah, so we had some high time frame buying down here. When we don't get a break under here, shorts get trapped. Right? If you think about this candle starts right here, right? That is a short squeeze candle. That's what that is. Repricing what? Think about how far we come down. It's a huge puke out. So reprice. We still need to retest this for bulls to really take control. Right? To really take control, we still need to test down there. We haven't retested. Remember, the best longs come when shorts are stuck. That was definitely short stuck, right? But what we'd really like is to make sure that this is very firm. If we did something like this, we can bid up off it. But remember, the high time frame narrative, well, not on the daily, but the H1 narrative is to move lower. It is to move lower. So that was a pullback on the H1. This squeeze here was just a pullback on the H1, wasn't it? All right, so if we take all this off, we clean this up, and we zoom out. Let's go to like 15 minute. Right, all it was a back test. All right, failure, back test, failure, back test, back test, failure, back test. Make sense? We're back testing levels, making sure buyers are stuck overhead. What is supply? It's buyers stuck overhead. All right, so if we come back down here, wash this, we can get weaker. What happens here? This is your daily and weekly level. We fail this and stay heavy, we absolutely gun and puke everything out. We trap under here, we rip. All right, so I'm very, very aware of that. The high probability setup for me has just been and gone. We've just taken it. There you go. So they're bidding off it. Like we said, we can use this liquidity now. They trap bulls. We failed. If they come sideways here, we can absolutely do that inverse head and shoulders. We talk about this move at least 2 or 3 times a week on stream. And you're seeing it. That's what I'm saying. That's the high probability been and gone. If we build this liquidity, we can really gun. We can gun higher. Made perfect sense to me. I had bull flag pattern that didn't hold and broke with the candle closing outside the bottom, and that was it. But if you get the opportunity, can you explain the theory behind the H1? Did I just do it then for you? Was that enough, or I can go over it? Gold trying to trap shorts. Let me have a look at GC. It's been in a major sell. Let me check the daily. I need to see where we're at. So this is a nice buy zone down here. Bit more to go yet. Bit more to go would be nice, but look, it's not looking too bad, JD. Looks quite similar. I really like these areas down here. Think about this leg started here. If we can offer like something like that and a bid back off that, that would be really good. Because this hasn't been revisited at all yet. This is strong demand. This is just an RBS, right? Yeah, it's an RBS. Yeah, these levels would be good anywhere in here. All right, seen that reversal now. There we go. All right, this is what we just talked about. It's why you have to respect. Look at this anchor view up, off low of day and off this pivot low. This is the average price of buyers, right? Higher time frame, institutional buyers who stepped up in here. This is the average price of them. They've been bidding it up. We've tested them. If we hold here, we will break higher now, because we just trapped everyone here. They're not smart enough to cover where we cover, because we understand structure. If we build liquidity out here, you have that inverse head and shoulder, and we will squeeze up. And the next level to squeeze up to would probably be Globex and then a gap fill. If we fail up here, however, because ES is nowhere near. ES looks like it might set a lower high here at the moment. So again, the divergence is at play. Why is it at play? I'm telling you why. It's because of one stock and one stock only. This thing is dominating the market. It has done all year, and this is a huge response. All right. It's already through its gap. It's going for previous day high. If it takes that out, we can go for the pivot high. Remember, all the way up here. All right, so this is just washed back down. If it takes this out, this is possible. That is controlling the Qs because it's so heavily weighted. Remember, Qs 60% weighted into the mag. If NVIDIA has a big day, it's much harder for the Qs to move down. I'm slowing down here because we've had some high probability trades. I'm just kind of waiting now to see how we want to set up on this next into the next hour. We might fill this imbalance. Think about, we look left where we broke down from. Go a bit. Do you know what? I'm just going to move you into here. It's easier. All right, this is an M5. You can see we are thin here. Hello. Here. All right. Bears will want to protect that because this is where buyers got stuck. Think about, I always trade with someone that's stuck. Institutional buyers stepped in yesterday. Boom, 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 boom. Here's the back test of what? Of this level here. Sellers came back in. Institutional buyers sold into that. Resold us down. Panicked down. Now we're trading back into where? Where institutional buyers stepped in. Right here. If we protect this, we might trade lower. If we reclaim this level, we will check 22s. If we reclaim that, we will go Globex high. It will not be that hard because this is not a huge amount of volume, remember, in here. This is in this whole grey area is not a lot of volume. I would say that divergence still playing out. ES looks very weak. Very weak. Second leg up. I think I just answered that. I'm guessing I didn't read that in time. I mean, into... I'd be watching 650s, which we're tapping into now, up to 670. If we trade through that, I'll be watching Globex. So if we get through 650, 670, I'll be watching Globex, basically 700. And if we trade through that, the gap fill to settlement, all right, which would be 736s. So I'd say if you're long, if you got long down here or you added in here, this is TP1. This is, maybe you can hold TP2 and TP3, this yellow line. These are your levels. Here, here, and here. Sorry, folks, I just got to see how far from the breakout we are. I should have reloaded this morning, man. My TP is 316, 350. I'm going to hold for 350 over the next 2 years. ES looks terrible by comparison. So you got weakness in ES. All right, so compare these. ES looks like it's going to set. Not reclaiming this area. Even though it's got all this to sweep and come for, this doesn't look very good right now. You'd want this for ES. This looks pretty weak right now. I'm not interested in anything at the moment. I'm like I said, I'm backing off. Had some good money. It's like not a huge day, if I'm honest, but it's not a bad day. That's all I've had. It's okay. It's better than it's been the last few days for me, probably. What's that? 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20, like 20, 2200 or something. It's not great. It's not great. It's okay. All right, should we do a giveaway? How many likes we got? 115. Lots of you made some good money. Let's do a giveaway. We'll give away an Apex account. I'm going to put some merch on for this to support them. Look at that. Apex hat. All right, let's do a giveaway here. Man, did you guys see all that drama yesterday? FinTwit drama, PW drama. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. It's too much. Too much for me to handle anything like that. You know the score by now. All right, if you want to enter this giveaway, you need to put the code in that will get you the best deal on Apex and most prop firms. The code is FZT. All right, use that. It helps me give back to the stream, and I can do things like this, giving away Apex accounts. So just type in FCT. You only need to type it once. All right, don't spam the chat, please. Just type it once. And then once everyone's in, we will do a random pull. Interesting. VIX still trading downside. New lower day. ES needs to really start getting up there, otherwise we're going to be in trouble. Nvidia's having pretty significant pullback here after that big squeeze out towards its 5-day. Pretty significant pullback, I would say, currently. All right, I'll give you guys 1 more minute. FZT in chat. We'll get you a free account. We're going to pull the winner very, very shortly. That's a good question. Let me see the last one I put in. No, it doesn't matter because I can see some of you have done it and it's fine. Pulling back here, market's pulling back here. Nvidia pulling back to its initial balance. Does it build liquidity out here to go higher or not? Like I said, ES looks a little bit weak for my liking. All right, let's pull this winner. The winner is Bartholomew Tesorillo. Did I say that right? Tesorillo. I absolutely butchered that. Tried to get it right. But Bart, you're the winner, just so you can see. So random pull. Random pull. Congrats, Bart. Just shoot me a DM or an email, info@flowzonetrader.com, or a DM on Twitter, or however you want to do it, and I'll send you a code, my friend. No worries, dude. Thanks for joining. All right, 40 minutes left here. ES is back to its VWAP right now. Midpoint. Is it midpoint of its initial balance? It looks like it's in the top third. Still holding potential RBS zone on ES. NQ has relative strength on the day due to Nvidia, which is above its initial balance high. The big winners on the day so far, Nvidia and Apple. All right, Nvidia 0.53% up, Apple 0.63% up. The rest of the market maintains a sell. Right, Tesla 3.53% down. Microsoft 1/3% down, Meta over 1% down, Google 2/3% down, Amazon 0.16% down. But we're filling this imbalance that we just had. We've left POC at the high, we've left value area high up here in this supply zone. Is there one more trade before lunch, I wonder? Is there a push that fails, or do we just reclaim and rip faces? I'm not sure right now. ES looks so weak. Feels like we're going to wash. Feels like we're going to wash at the moment. 600s here. If they snap 600s, we're going back to VWAP. If you snap VWAP, we go really low. ES back to that New York VWAP. So it's looking for a double bottom here to bid off on the ES. Relative strength, remember, on NQ. ES is down here, this one. We're still holding the average price of buyers off this pivot low. Get rid of this one. Off the low where we found a bid. It's the average price of buyers. If that starts to let go, there's a deeper rotation. Feels heavy. Feels very, very heavy. Battle over this 600 level at the moment. Feels very heavy. Here you go. I've got a small piece on here. See if we can get an extension through this VWAP. Let's go, baby. Let's let go of VWAP and come test New York Open. That would be nice. ES letting go of VWAP as well now. I want Nvidia to just wash under IB. That'd be ideal. Treasure in Italian. Oh, I like it. Bart Treasure. So ES just took out that pivot low, right? So a little bit of divergence here. Just be aware ES has just taken this out. Relative weakness all day in ES. It's been the easier trader to the downside for sure. Clear lower high. So again, this very different. Did we make a new high here? We didn't, but ES, the equivalent just went like much easier setup. Came back into here, failed down to here. See some bids here all the way down to 75. So I'm going to zoom out here. Sales up at 62s right now. Still feels heavy. It feels heavy at the moment. Very, very heavy. Remember that opening range and that New York Open will be the 78s. And if we fail through that, we can come and test this old block, which we talked about earlier, where we bid out of. We still have not tested this RBS level. We've bid out from it. All right? If we fail under here, we will wash. If we hold this, we will come and reattempt up here. This is thin. Nvidia still holding on well at 78s at the moment. Still making higher lows at the moment on Nvidia. I hope this flushes a bit. Got trapped near that triple top on NQ. You got trapped on the triple top. Oh, trying to play the high. Yeah, it was a big push from here. for me, there was a lack of structure. You need to see this structure build out and it do this, which you didn't see. Like the equivalent of this would have been good, but all we did was trade lower. It needed to stop here and start to curl. Structure is king always for me. Like here, if we push up and fail, if we build some sort of structure out here and then get under it, then we can play a reload short, right? And it might even come all the way up here and fail. We're now starting to build out a bit of a range here, and you can see it in this volume. It's going to become more and more choppy here if we can't move outside of this volume. So there's reaction off VWAP again. So these buyers off the lows, they are absorbing these levels. And Nvidia having another go at high day. Man, ES, all the liquidity is lower right now. Look at that. All of it's lower into 650. Ooh, that would concern me somewhat. That would concern me somewhat. Rejection of VWAP there on ES as well. Trading between 24-hour and New York VWAP at the moment. Nvidia new high day coming. So it's holding this NQ market up. Everything else weak. There's a new high day Nvidia. So strong, man. So strong. Building out this range. That's a flow zone cap. We can get a flow zone cap. We can get some done if you're interested. No worries. I'd probably get like trucker hats done. They fit me a bit better. Yeah, this is Apex hat. They sent me some nice stuff. But yeah, if you didn't know, Apex back on sale. All right, 80% off and $85 activation fees. So really good there because those are $140 normally. So $85 for lifetime. Cadell, I think you might be a little bit behind, my friend. You might want to hit live on the stream. We did the giveaway already. You might be a little bit behind. All right, half an hour left here. Still trading in this range now. All right, so buyers at the moment, so you can understand. Buyers, from where we found a bid, we sold this morning. Shorts got trapped down here. Why? Because they didn't get their breakdown. Buyers stepped in, you get a short covering rally. Average price of buyers is right here. So they bid off this twice. So intraday, buyers are in control. As in just in the New York session, buyers are currently in control. Where do they want to go? Well, they'd love to get up into these. That's where they'd love to get right now. The strength's coming from NVIDIA. You have to understand that. It is all coming from NVIDIA right now. The moment that stops, you might be in a bit of trouble. So it's worth noting. Although having said that, Meta is currently breaking out, looking to get to IB high and break out. Google is at IB high, looking to retest PDL and PDC. Amazon stuck. Apple, meh, kind of sideways. So most of the damage is being done by NVIDIA, which is now 1.05% up, testing its 5-day. It's looking good. I think you're going to get NVIDIA try and squeeze all the way up to 180s here. Might drag this market higher with it. Are we just going to print 2 big W's today? Oh, yeah. You're right. I didn't notice that. When I did notice it down here, you might be right. It might just be that, protecting the low and go. Maybe, my friend. Seller coming in here at 60s. There's IB high check. Ooh, that was a sweep of the high and a pullback to PD value area. NVIDIA just tapped its 5-day. It's interesting times. I'm not trading this now. I've made my money. Made my money. That last dip got absorbed at IB at low again. Sellers on the tape here, 660. Through that, you can probably go 680s. So they've got to trade through 660s to get to 680s. Here, they're going to attempt the 660s now. Zoom this in a bit for you. And we can get rid of this as well. It's messy. All right, so we do have supply up here. If they're able to hold and build something out here, there's probably a trade up to this point. And through that, your next TP would be up to here. It's a big ask because we've done a big move, but it looks like it wants it at the moment. NVIDIA is just absolutely screaming. Is the 60s. You can see them on the tape here. There are lots of refresh sellers here. They get through this, they go 80s. Big levels. Big levels. Big levels. Here they go. Here's 60s. Filled some of them. You want to see it squeeze to the 65 here. You got a seller at 65. Get through that. You should go 80s. There's through the 60s. Tapped into 65s. Just short 64. Can we go 80s? Can we get through this guy and go 80s? Lots of selling here. Make sure you're taking partial if you took this long. If you reloaded in this, make sure you're selling some. This is supply. It's why it's red. The next point will be up into these 90. Well, we're saying 80s. It's 90s here, 94s, but there's a block on the book map at 80s, which is why I'm saying it. I'm hungry, man. What do we eat? Good session today. Good session, considering I missed that short at the open and it didn't give us much of the long, and we got what we could. Remember, I think ES has got unfinished business. Here goes NVIDIA. Closing in on that previous day high. VIX is getting absolutely crushed. I think you're going to get those 80s here, folks. I think you're going to get the 80s. Yeah, starting to join the party into its lower time frame algo. You want to see it squeeze through that. All right, through the 65s we go. You're looking for 80s and then 95s and then through that PDC. Here you go, folks. Look really good. I've joined the party here. I've joined the party here. Come on, baby. Love to see 95s. What's this level here? 738. So looking for 80s and then this guy up here. I'm going to get rid of this now because we've traded through it. So you've got your next target. Nice, Peter. Nvidia having a little bit of a pullback here. It got quite extended there. It was a pretty big push for the last sort of 10 minutes or so. PDH is what it wants to aim for. And if it goes for PDH, you know this market's going to come and tag into the Globex levels. ES going now as well, approaching its IB high. So you want to see if you want them to kind of hold 55s. Any pullback, you'd want 55s to hold. Right, just like an RBS zone. This kind of zone here, 55s down to 40s. You'd want this level in here to hold. You better be taking partials in this move, folks. Remember your counter trend intraday. You'd need this to hold. Any failure of here, I'd be very, very careful because we've built out lots of liquidity here. So you'd need this to hold. You're looking for this and this. Lovely. Here we go. Here's your 80s. All right, next stop, 94s. Come on, let's go 94s. ES getting up to its IB high as well. We're looking for a break of IB high on ES because it's got about 5 or 6 levels or stops up there, which I think we can go and take. Yeah, I always scale into positions. I scale in and I scale out. Unless it's very, very obvious and I need to like get size in straight away. So into these 80s here. Next level is Globex. Next level through that is PDC. All right. Yes, right into its IB high. About to break IB high here. We're looking good. We want Nvidia to make a new high here as well. We don't want it to get stuck. Just a nice little Nvidia squeeze to previous day high would be magnificent at this point. We are pretty extended, so there might be a pullback coming on NQ soon. So really, I just want it to finish its unfinished business into Globex if it can first, which is just that supply and that orange line above. We're just looking to tag into that. And then through that, previous day point of control will be 727. Previous day close will be 740. Go back to the very beginning of the day. What do we say? Do not get short in a hole at the lows when we've washed so much. It is likely to trade away from it. We are trading away from it. Here we go. Here's Globex about to come for you. Come on. Come on. A little bit more. A little bit more. Globex being tested. I think we're a tick away. Through that, you've got psychological 700. And then we're looking at previous day point of control, previous day close. Absolute banger of a trade. Globex tested now. I'm going to get rid of this red line. This is a TP for you like we talked about. TP1, TP2, TP3 is up here. The next level you're looking at is this level up here. You are looking for a squeeze out into this level here. Through that, the final one will be all the way up here. But this should be a major take profit where we're at now and this. Ni hao, your analysis is great, dude. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's just understanding trap traders, all right? Why we need to pull back from here, what we create in doing that, all right? Most people are not smart enough to understand that this will offer a short after sweeping H1 back down to an RBS. This offers the short. This this is dirty. We don't normally do this. Normally off this, we do this. But because of ES had a bit of weakness, but we still hold this higher low, and now they rip up using these guys' stops who got short where we got short, but they did not take profit. They get stopped out. We use them to get up here. Now, what would we look for? Something down here for this. But remember, the higher we go, the more levels we take out, the less probability we have of moving higher, because we're starting to do damage, aren't we? We've reclaimed this. We've reclaimed this. We've reclaimed this. We've tapped into this. The only things left, the POC, value area high, and closing the gap. That's it. Unless we're going to take out Globex as well, which it is possible. It is possible. Amazon gone green. Glad I reloaded in that. All right, be careful. NVIDIA getting very close to that PDH now. It's squeezing us up. Remember, you're looking basically, PDH on NVIDIA is 17978. We're trading 17950s right now. Might see some hesitation in the market here as we approach this PDH on NVIDIA. He's been squeezing straight up for the last 20 minutes without any relief. So it might pull back in front of that high and offer a reload for buyers. Nice, Peter. Great work. I'm going to be here until lunch. 15 minutes left and then I'm out of here. I don't need the course, but if I can get more of this analysis or real-time scenarios on your Discord, let me know how to do that. Yeah, the Discord is only for members that do the course, because it's just not fair on people otherwise. Otherwise, what happens, you get people who trade different ways joining Discord, and then it just confuses people. So it's only for members that do the course, but you're welcome to do the course. The Discord then comes for free. It's totally up to you. I totally understand if you don't want to do it. That's also very normal and okay. All right, so seeing that pullback on NVIDIA in front of the PDH. Remember, this can afford a pullback all the way down towards 55s or something if it really wants, which is basically 40, 50 points. It can afford that if it wants to do it. You have the clear levels that we're aiming for above. Just remember, this is a straight move up. It can afford a pullback before going higher if it wants. What's up, Miguel? Why am I only seeing comments of FCT now? Nice stream. Made up for yesterday. I was frustrated on stream yesterday. Couldn't get going. Missed a killer trade. It just shows it's just one day. I think this has got one more little squeeze out coming. It's just whether it does it now or pulls back first and then does it. We're into that Globex. Testing Globex. New hourly coming in 11 or 12 minutes. We're testing the 21. We're testing the flow zones on the hourly as well. We are testing the flow zones on the hourly here. So lots of reasons for it to offer a pullback. I think we will do one more squeeze out. I think we're going to do a small pullback, lower time frame, and then offer one more squeeze out. And then we'll have to see. But like we've made our money in stream today. You should have been nicely green. I think I took 2 break evens before we got that short. And that short paid 50 odd points. This long has paid 40s, 50 odd points. You've made at least 100 points with me on stream. Nice, Christy. Looking forward to working with you. Any problems, shoot me an email, because I have moved to a new server. So for some reason, there's any issues, just shoot me an email and I will get it sorted. Harish made $650 done for the day. Thanks again. You're welcome, Harish. So you're seeing a little bit of stop start here around these 700s. You can see there's a seller come back in at 700, 106 lot. All right, they keep reloading these 700s. I think we're going to trade higher. It's just whether it needs a flush pullback first and absorb to re-go. And the only reason I think that is because I think there's a bit of unfinished business here. But we'll see. ES is not holding above its initial balance right now. I think ES might want to come and test previous day low, maybe later on in the day. And I think NVIDIA wants to come and test previous day high. Here's the flush pullback that I was talking about. Remember, this can afford to come all the way down to 50s if it wants. All the way down to 50s. We had a big, big squeeze higher. It can keep drifting all the way back. It's very much like earlier. Look how we built that liquidity at the highs. How many buyers kept trying and trying and trying and trying up there. When we're in supply, we're in Globex. And we've just washed them out. If we zoom in, it's like a micro version of this. See this? Wash them out. You see this? Wash them out. Probably turn around once they're washed out. It can afford to come all the way down here. Now, if we don't bid off here, I'd be very concerned then. We go back into a range here that we use this to revisit this end of day. So it would need to print and hold IB to complete this job. If it can't do that, I would have concerns about what happens next. And you're getting close to lunch here as well, folks. But I just see your email. Get this over to you. Da, 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 da. All right, NVIDIA about to take out previous day high. NQ not running with it. So if we don't run with it and NVIDIA takes the high out and then pukes, then you know this deeper pullback is probable. VIX still trading low of day. There goes previous day high, taken from NVIDIA now. So that has probably completed its job. The next job it will have, what's the next level? 180.23, and then you're looking at new highs, 184. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. No worries, Bart. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for joining every day. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Love working with you guys on stream. All right, back to flow zones. They might do this inverted head and shoulder kind of move here and do that rip higher now. We didn't really test that deep. Let's do a flag. Let me do the measured. Yeah, didn't even come into the 30, so not ideal, but here we go. Washing out, holding this, probably take this and then aim for these will be the next move if it can keep extending. The one thing I would say is it was getting dragged up by Nvidia. Nvidia's already done the damage. All right, Nvidia's taken out the highs. Why does this mouse keep going weird? Stop it. Stop it. Make me reload it. Still doing it. What the hell's going on? Click over here. Maybe it's better. Yeah, I was. That's exactly what it was. Toto, right? Great film. I don't know if any of you watched it. Yacht Rock. Really good documentary film. Really, really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's trying to do the move. I'm not convinced right now. There's that seller at 700. What's the time? 4 minutes left. Yeah. Nvidia's taken the previous day highs, pulling back here, so I'm not convinced. We should already have moved higher, and it hasn't done it. It might still come, but I'm not convinced you should have been paying yourself. You should be runner over only at this point. Mm. All right. Nvidia's trying to find a bid on PDH. Maybe it can squeeze through these 180s. So Apple green, Amazon green, Nvidia green. Everything else still lagging. Just gonna use the bathroom here, folks, and I'll be back. Oi! All right, spiders and Q's pulling back. Still not come back and tested those levels. We haven't even done a 30% pullback from this squeeze out. All right, so it's plenty of room to pull back aggressively here if it wants. Remember, we've tested most key levels, just got tested on that drive up that we took. Thanks. Cheers, darling. Are you off to work? What time is that? Okay. All right, no worries. Ah. you guys saying? Sorry, just catch up here. Was down 38k, almost liquidated. Now up 4,000. Blue Collar Studio. Jesus, dude. What were you? Were you swing long? I'm assuming you must have been swing long, right? I can't think what else you would have been to be down that much. That's a huge amount. You just need to use the same email that you originally used on the old server. You should have got an email from me, and everything will be available there. Yeah, so I've had it so that everyone who's already signed up, everything's available on the new server. You just need to log in, create an account with your new email. Everything's there. Everything's there. All right, Nvidia's trying to find a bid over PDH. We're trying to do that same sort of W and squeeze on this new H1. It's trying to do that W and squeeze. Whether it can do it or not is a whole other thing, but it's trying to. ES would like to come and test a previous day low if it can get through the initial balance. At the moment, it can't get through the initial balance. Yeah, all I can think of, Blue Collar, is that you have if you got liquidated, it can't be that much of a big account, and you were swing long. Which means you were swing long. If you're just green now, you might. I mean, you were swing long at what, like a 630s average or something. Multiple accounts. Oh, intraday trading. So what happened? Okay, I understand what you're saying. 38k down across lots of different accounts being copied. I get what you're saying. Shorting during the move up. Well, dangerous. Dangerous to short against a squeeze after a 300-point drop. All right, we're right into these hourly flow zones. I'm just going to give this a minute. I just want to see if we break out continuation here. If we go and fill this guy at 700 and squeeze up to previous day point of control or not. I feel like it's what it wants to do. Here comes Globex for a retest. ES reclaiming IB high. Ooh, big shove up on Nvidia through the 180s. Can it sustain a bid though? That's the key here on Nvidia, rather than just a shove up. Lots of selling up there above 180 by the looks of it, or 180.20s. We've not filled this seller at 700 yet. He was 100 lot, so he slimmed down, did he? Yeah, he pulled his order, re-added some at 95s, put some more back at 700. Books just got very thin here. All the buyers just left. Buyers just left the tape. You can see it. See, we're just trading away from it all now. They literally just went, nah, we're done. We've gone for lunch. There you go. They had an attempt and they've gone for lunch. Maybe they come back for it during lunch. Either way, I'm done. Made our money. That's your first failed attempt to move higher there, I would say, on NQ, which should be a bit of a warning sign, especially over lunchtime. The volume's gone. If you've made good money today, I'd advise you walk away and enjoy that good money. Let everyone else battle it out now. We've had a big sell down. Let's just review where we are. We'll go to this chart here. All right. All that's happened this week is your drive up Monday, pull back Tuesday, failed follow through Wednesday, failure Thursday. In this Thursday session, we're pulling back to this key area. Decisions will be made, right, for the rest of the week now, whether we come back inside this range or we reject this range and just build out liquidity in here, right? The easy moves were made overnight or here. Easy moves are gone. The easy money moves are gone now. Right? I would not be looking to add any more long positions here. And if you're short right now, well, there's not really a setup intraday. You are coming into key levels, but we are still producing higher highs and higher lows intraday. So the squeeze can continue. Nvidia has probably completed its job, having said that. But yeah, I just sort of back off the market. If you made good money, just back off the market. Let's see what you guys are saying. I was making some bad moves, but I've slowly crawled out of a hole I dug for myself. Yeah, just try not to dig holes, man. Don't go against the grain. Zoom out. First thing we said at the very, very beginning was what was momentum, what is location. You can see it right here. Momentum, strong sell. Location, big support area. So if you're short, you're going to need a pop and trap today to trade, or a clear breakdown for more structure built out. If long, you need to let sentiment shift to the H1 for a retrace leg, which is what we got. Other than that, here, if we're here at the open, it's a little hard to take a trade. Right? So just understand, you've got to zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Do not be shorting low of days. You are asking, you're absolutely asking for it. Don't do it. Don't buy higher days, don't short lower days. Is that called the tape above my camera? Yeah, this is bookmap. This is order flow. So this is the equivalent of your DOM, just in a visual way. The reason I like it is because if you're looking at a DOM, you won't see this. You won't see this guy who came on and left, or if you do, you've got photographic memory. I definitely won't see a guy that's come on and left like that. So the nice thing about bookmap is I can see when there's aggressive sellers and aggressive buyers. I can see when and where we get thin, and I can see spoofers and guys that come in and then leave, and second, like he's just left again. Right, so I can see what's happening in real time. Not essential for trading, but it's very useful. I'll let you know tomorrow if I manage to turn this very red day into a very green one or not. Or I would just not overforce anything and just come back tomorrow and trade again. No worries, Harinder. Yeah, it's bookmap. That's exactly what that is. It's bookmap. It is bookmap. All right, folks. I love you and leave you there. Nice work today. We're back tomorrow. We go again tomorrow. And let's close the week strong. Hopefully we can close the week strong. Have a good rest of the session. Don't do anything stupid. All right, we've had a really, really good session on stream. You should not be forcing anything in the afternoon. The easy money, I think, has probably been and gone. All right, so be smart. Peace and love, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.